Today's battle is between the Hyneria and the American alligator. Let's get into this. Hyneria was a fish that lived around Europe and North America and could be up to around 8 to 16 feet long. And yeah. And it could weigh up to around this weight. And Hyneria can weigh up to around like a ton. 1 to 2 tons. Now, let's go into the American alligator. The American alligator lives in the southeastern United States and can be up to around 10 to 20 feet long, can weigh up to 1,000 pounds to a ton, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, let's compare the weapons, jaws versus jaws. So the jaws of the American alligator have a strong enough bite force to crush through freaking bone. But the jaws of the Hyneria are pretty strong too, and their teeth are they're used to ripping through flesh and everything. Teeth of Hyneria are made for ripping through flesh. But in the end, the American alligator gets the advantage here. X factors. Now, Hyneria was a special fish. Not only did it have really tough scales, but it could also go on land for short periods of time. You remember in that one episode of Walking with Monsters where the Hyneria chases down the Hynerpeton, that one black and yellow amphibian during the mating season? Yeah, and then that Hyneria just got up on land using her strong fins to chase the Hynerpeton and eventually capture the male and eat it. Yeah, it was the top predator of its time. Now, American alligator. The American alligator can go on land. It has body armor on its back, but it's vulnerable in the bottom. Yeah, its dark color helps to blend in with the muddy environment it lived in. Muddy swamps. The Bayou. Okay. Now, let's get on to there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, but anyway, X Factors goes to the gator. No, speed. The Hyneria can swim to speeds up to around 15 miles per hour. The gator can swim to speeds up to around 20 miles per hour. And if it went off on land, it can run to short bursts of speeds up to 30 freaking miles per hour. That's freaking fast, man. Yeah, but anyway, the gator gets the speed advantage. Strength is tied between these two animals, a fish and a reptile. Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, brains is tied. Attack goes to the Hyneria, and defense goes to the gator. Okay, now let's fight. The Hyneria, and remember, we're using these animals at their maximum size. Okay. Now, let's get into the fight. Now, this 16-foot long Hyneria has hunted Hynerpetons before and some other reptiles that lived in the time. But he sees this gator and he's thinking, what is this thing? What is it? So he decides to take a bite out of his tail and shake it around. The gator roars back and bites off a fin off the, you see where my cursor is, and bites off this big fin off the Hyneria. The Hyneria knows he's dealing with a predator, so he shakes loudly when the gator tail slaps the Hyneria and escapes. The Hyneria just chases the gator everywhere, Oh yeah, Hyneria doesn't need to go up to the surface to breathe, but the gator does. But anyways, the gator bites down the this area right here, the Hyneria, and starts biting it and crushing its scales. Now the gator can bite through an alligator garb with some difficulty, but it can still go through it. So imagine how hard it must have been for this giant Hyneria to have thick scales and for this gator to bite through it. The gator has some tough time biting through it, but eventually he breaks through. The Hyneria is bleeding, and the fish is like struggling to escape. The fish then sees an arm, the front legs of the gator, and rips it clean off. Bites one of them and rips it clean off and swallows it. The gator lets go of the Hyneria, but then bites its face and does the death roll. The blood is staining the water, and the conflict between the two makes the water look like it's like freaking it's like boiling. The Hyneria is just gonna spin around like a freaking mech. You spin me right now like a minute, like a minute. Who remembers that song? Like, yeah, he's just spinning and spinning around, and the Hyneria gets dizzy. So does the gator, but the gator needs to go up to the air to breathe, so he goes up to the air to breathe. The Hyneria regains consciousness, sees the gator, and then goes for the underbelly strike. The gator is severely injured, but then bites another fin off the Hyneria. Now the Hyneria just has the gator immobilized. The gator starts biting the same spot where it bit it before, and then they both let go of each other and decide to call it quits. But the American alligator makes a sharp U-turn and bites down on the tail of the Hyneria and rips it clean off, surprisingly. The Hyneria can't swim as well and it just gets ripped apart by the gator. Looks like the gator's the new top predator here. So yeah, the winner is the American alligator. So verdict. I think the American alligator wins around like 63% of the time. Its jaws are strong, but I don't think it's gonna take some time to pierce through the tough scales of the Hyneria. Hyneria has some pretty good weapons, but it doesn't have what it takes to take on the gator. But it could take it down sometimes. But who do you think would have won this fight? The American alligator or Hyneria? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.